Good morning, everyone, and a very warm welcome to all our viewers in Ireland as well as who are joining us from India. Today, we are privileged to have with us Mr. Neerabh Kumar Prasad, IAS, for a special talk on the topic Mission Life. We all know that Mission Life is an initiative of the Indian government to inspire people make certain easy to adopt changes in their lifestyle that are conducive to protect and preserve the environment. Today, Mr. Prasad will share his thoughts and knowledge on this initiative under India Ireland Friendship Lecture Series. Firstly, I would like to give a brief introduction of Mr. Prasad. He belongs to 1987 batch of IAS and he is a graduate from Indian Institute of Technology, New Delhi, MBA from IIM Bangalore, and he also has a master's degree in public policy from Princeton University, USA. Presently, Mr. Prasad is working as Special Chief Secretary in Environment, Forest, Science and Technology Department of the Government of Andhra Pradesh in India. Here, his scope of work covers varied areas of environment, climate change, and forests. As chairman of the High Power Committee constituted to inquire into the gas leak accident occurred in the year 2020 in Visakhapatnam, a major city in Andhra Pradesh, he has submitted a detailed report with specific recommendations in a short period of 2 months. He has over 35 years of experience in government service at various levels of governance in capacities ranging from collector of a district to chief commissioner of land administration, one of the highest positions in the government of Andhra Pradesh. He has drafted the Andhra Pradesh Industrial Sustainability and Safety Policy 2020 to promote sustainable industrial development in the state. He played a vital role in creating an institutional mechanism for online waste market, which provides for effective mechanism of collection, transportation, storage, treatment, processing, delivery, and disposal of industrial waste. He guided in preparation of forest compartment-wise action plan, which helped in increase of forest cover of 990 square kilometers as per ISFR 2019, which is the second highest in India. At present, he is actively working on various programs related to protecting the environment, such as climate change action plan, mitigation and resilience measures, and coastal zonal management plans. Before we invite Mr. Prasad for his talk on the mission life, I would request His Excellency the Ambassador of India, Shri Akhilesh Mishra, to kindly give his introductory remarks. Sir.
Namaskar, Namaskar. My very warm greetings to you all, especially friends from India who are connected with this program. At the outset, my very sincere gratitude to my dear friend Neerabh Kumarji for so kindly, generously accepting our invitation. We are aware how busy you are. Still, you spare time for us. It's deeply appreciated. Friends, for India, it's a matter of great pride that under the visionary leadership of Honorable Prime Minister, India has come in the forefront of the global discourse on climate change and sustainable development. In the past, India was seen in negative light, and India was seen as a kind of drag on the discourse on renewable energy and sustainable development and climate change issues. But since Prime Minister Modi has come, he has put India in the forefront. And two things strike out. First is that he has internalized the discourse on sustainability and climate change issues. Because India, among other developing countries, India is most acutely vulnerable. India has about 16% of world's population, but just about 2% of global land mass. So the population density in India is very high compared to other countries. Similarly, the development deficit that India faces, we still have significant number of people who are below poverty line, and our overall human development indicators are low. Infrastructure development is still very modest. So we have a huge amount of development catch up to do. So our energy needs, our needs of urban development, they will have huge demand, huge pressure on climate issues. So we have to be proactive in dealing with those issues. So Prime Minister Modi's vision is that it's India's drive, it's India's mission to make our country's development more sustainable, more green, environment friendly. And also, second aspect is that it's no longer business as usual approach to absorbing and adopting new technologies, new solutions. Prime Minister Modi's approach has been technology driven and innovation driven, and also leveraging unique situations prevailing in India in terms of the huge market, huge size of population, and also unique assets that India has in terms of very large technological professional proficient pool, and how it can be leveraged into cost-effective, affordable solutions. So the way he has transformed the lighting system, for example, 360 million LED bulbs replacing earlier inefficient bulbs. So that has not only been very, very cost effective because of the demand aggregation, but also it has hugely reduced the carbon footprint and energy requirement. Similarly, the massive drive on digital solutions, digital technologies, and DBT and whole range of mobile-based solutions. So their impact is not really assessed properly in terms of reducing the carbon footprint. If India has been transacting about 46% of all real-time payments through mobile solutions, its impact on logistics, its impact on carbon footprint is very, very significant. So India is going through unprecedented transformation in these areas. And I was privileged to be a witness when Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji launched together with the UN Secretary General Mission Life. And what really struck me was that it takes the public connectivity on public consciousness on renewable and sustainable solutions and environment consciousness to the next level. It's no longer government driven, it's no longer central or state government driven. It has been converted into people's mission. And scale does matter. As he was explaining to us that it may seem very insignificant for an individual, but if you extrapolate it at the level of 1.4 billion Indians or 8 billion people in the world, then even a small behavioral change makes huge impact. That is why, Kumarji, we were very keen to have first-hand understanding of what Mission Life means for policy planners like you, and also what it can teach us as embassy representatives. Also, the Indian diaspora in Ireland is growing. What message, what lessons we can convey to our friends, Indian friends here. And also, I'm really looking for your ideas based on Mission Life and other your broad range of areas of experience on how we can leverage each other's unique strengths to build India-Ireland relationship in the renewable energy and environmental and environmental friendly sustainability issues. Ireland, I can mention that Ireland has a very interesting innovation ecosystem. Ireland has about 25,000 startups, and it's a very, very fascinating innovation, entrepreneurship, and education hub. There are many universities which are doing cutting-edge work on ESG and sustainability solutions. Even startups are doing very interesting niche technology development. And also Ireland, being a mega financial and fintech hub, can become a very interesting partner for us. Like India, Ireland also has a quite long coastline, about 7,000 kilometers or so. So, and also huge potential for wind energy, particularly offshore wind energy. So offshore wind energy and green hydrogen are also very interesting areas where we can have conversation. And I look forward to listening to your presentation with great interest, and also identifying opportunities for us to work together. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Ambassador. Your Excellency Ambassador Shri Akhilesh Mishra ji, who is a personal friend, and I thank you for inviting me for joining you on this lecture series. Srimati Hema ji and all other officers of the Indian Embassy in Ireland, all the participants in this India-Ireland Friendship Lecture Series, participating from India, participating from Ireland or anywhere in the world, my warm greetings and namaskar to all of you. It is my privilege to share the context, the outlines, and also the implementation mechanism that we have adopted in the mission life in the state of Andhra Pradesh. As you mentioned in your introductory remarks, I would like to share that this is a mission life is an India-led initiative to involve people all over the world for combating the climate change issues. I will not be delving much into the climate change issues. However, I am open to talk about it, but I'll not delve much into it. I'll focus on the mission life and what does it want to do? What is it that it is providing, which has still not been covered so far in any of the initiatives that have been taken on the climate change front. And here I would like to bring out to you very, very carefully as to what this achieves in terms of the final demand, the final supply, and the final changes towards the sustainability of the earth and keeping the earth as good as we have inherited it for our children also. We have a small PPT, and I would like to begin with this small PPT on some major slides. So if we can have the PPT, please, we will start the presentation. Yeah, so this is life, mission life. The full form is lifestyle for environment. This is very important. We are talking about bringing environment in our lifestyle itself. What we do in our daily life is what lifestyle for environment talks about. We are not talking about any major issues in the lifestyle for environment. I'll come to the details. Can we just go to the next slide, please? So here I just mentioned to you the proverb, we don't inherit the earth from our ancestors, we borrow it from our children. We have one planet on which we have till now to live, and all of us have to live in it together. And that is why we have to give it to our children in the same condition that we have received it, if not better. So I think this is one proverb which captures the whole spirit of sustainability in its true sense, that earth is not something of an inheritance, but it's an obligation. It is our liability. It is our loan from our children, and we have to repay it to them in the same condition that we have received it. And this is the crux of the whole issue in our whole sustainability dialogue. Next, please. So now we come to the context. So where does mission life come in? Actually, if you really see the climate change, the ozone depletion, the global warming, all became issues in the late 20th century, when 1990s, when we really started talking about it in a very big way. In fact, the United Nations adopted a Millennium Development Goals in the year 2000, which was to be achieved by 2015. And this has been further revised, further developed, and now we have what is called the Sustainable Development Goals, which has much more broadened the scope from the Millennium Development Goals. And we are talking of totally sustainable development, sustainable cities, and sustainable communities by 2030. The important point I want to make here is that this part of the goals, this part of the setup is essentially oriented towards government policy and government actions to be taken by each of the member states of the UN. And they have to see that their government policy and actions are in consonance with these goals, and each country implements its policies and actions in a manner that they achieve the sustainable development goals. On the other side, you know, there is a lot of talk about very, very major issues: renewable energy, global warming, rise in temperatures, seawater level rising, greenhouse effect, ozone depletion, carbon footprint, carbon emissions, carbon sequestration, carbon credits. Unfortunately, while the experts understand these words, the common men are not able to understand this word, and they start thinking that the climate change is too big an issue, too complicated an issue for us to even think about it, leave apart, act on it. So we just don't know. We will all talk about it, but there is nothing that we can do. And it is in this context that, next please, the Mission Life comes in as our initiative of our Honorable Prime Minister, who first talked about it in the Glasgow conference, the COP26, on 1st November 2021. Later on, the UN Secretary General visited India in Gujarat, and in 20th October 2022, this Mission Life on the climate change, on combating the climate change issues, was launched formally on 20th at the Statue of Unity in Gujarat. What is it that this climate change? As I told you, this is not about government policy. This is not about some scientific handling of the climate change issues. It is a grassroots, it is a movement, it's a grassroots mass movement of citizens for combating climate change and enhancing the environment action. It is about each and every person. What can I do to combat climate change? What can you do to combat climate change? We are talking of individual level actions, and we are talking of maybe community level actions, but we are not talking of the corporate actions or the government policy actions or the scientific actions about research and development. So this is essentially a citizens' involvement program in the whole exercise. So how does it translate it for us in the concept of this? So if we can just see, first of all, the mission and the vision. So can we just go to the next slide, please? So this is about the mission style, the lifestyle for environment. Basically, it says each and every individual, please promote healthy and sustainable way of your own lifestyle based on conservation and moderation. This is consume less, consume only what you need. This is use only what you need. Don't go for excessive consumption of items which you may not need. So this is a personal individual action. Encourage sustainable and environment friendly development. We are not talking, definitely we all want development. We all want very good level of income, comforts and all, but please encourage sustainable methods. If you want to use, we will come to it. If you want to use electricity, please do use LED lamps. What you just mentioned. Don't consume more electricity use less of electricity. So it's essentially about nudging of individuals and community action to protect and preserve the environment. So this is what Mission Life is about, individual and community actions. Vision, very simple, practice life as much as in tune with the nature as you can. If you can walk, please walk, go, it will give you a good. You don't have to take out your vehicle or your car to travel a distance of 1 kilometer. So you can do those things. Nurture generally a pro-people ideology everywhere. Keep on taking whether my action is in accordance with the sustainable development theories, concepts and all, whether I am pro-planet, what I am doing, is it going to harm the planet in any way? So ultimately, we would say that it will develop into my individual habit. It will become a community, my social group, my habits, and we all very sensitive to the needs of the planet and the environment. If one can say it, basically now in environmental, in climate terms, we keep on using these words, the 4 R's. Reduce all your consumptions to the basic minimum requirement. Don't throw, reuse it if you can. Don't throw a towel. Is very commonly you will see it in hotels. Don't throw the towels. If you can reuse it, don't put it for wash, reuse it. If you can reuse it with a little bit of redoing something, please reuse it. If you can't reuse it, see that it is not thrown away. Put it in a circular economy chain so that it can be recycled. It can be reused. Don't throw away the batteries. Let it be going into the recycle economy so that the lead or the lithium and all can be re-extracted and can be reused, and restore it to the condition that it is used. We should make our demand on the planet as less as possible and use it in the most efficient manner and introduce the circular economy. And that is our vision, that we are least burdensome on the planet to the extent possible. How did we go about? Now, these are all big things to say. How do we want to do about it? Can I have the next slide, please? So what the government of India, the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change has done is they have set up targets in accordance with the Prime Minister's vision. They said we must at least mobilize 1 billion people in India as well as outside, the global citizens, to take individual and collective action for making the flag bearers of this movement of Mission Life. And I'll tell you how that comes. It will just come a little bit. But the target we was set up for ourselves is 1 billion people should be aware of Mission Life and should try to practice Mission Life to the extent possible. This is our national targets. We also set up a target that 80% of all the local bodies, that is the village panchayats, the gram panchayats, and also the urban local bodies, that is the municipalities, the municipal corporations, all at least 80% of the gram panchayats and the urban local bodies are also should be part and parcel and should say that they are totally part of this Mission Life as a community target. And what do we try to achieve? As I mentioned to you, the 4 R's, we try to make each person to conserve, use as less as possible, use as recycle as much as possible, reduce the demand. Ultimately, we foresee that all these steps of Mission Life will lead to a change in demand. For example, you just mentioned about the global population. I am saying on a per capita level, if we reduce each person reduces energy consumption by 1 unit. At an all India level, we will have a demand which is less by 1.4 billion units. So that is the type of scope which has that only 1 unit. That means in a family of 4 or 5, we are talking of reducing monthly consumption of electricity by about 4 to 5 units. Now that is not a very big deal if you simply make it a practice not to switch on the lights or put off the lights immediately after use, or put off the fans or the air conditioners immediately after use. So this is something which can be done. Don't put the air conditioners at 18 degrees centigrade, put it at 24 or 25 degrees centigrade. These are small changes which can make a very massive demand. If all of us decide we will carry our cloth back to the our shopping thing. Every time you go with your cloth bag, every time you go out shopping, you save at least, I think, 4 or 5 plastic bags in a month. If you are going shopping 4 or 5 times, if you save 4 or 5 plastic bags in each family, imagine how many tons of plastic you have saved and how much less of demand. So all these individual actions and community actions lead to a change in demand. So once we have nudged this change in demand, it will bring in a change in supply. And that is the second phase of the thing, where the corporate who produce these items naturally adjust to the changing individual behavior and change the thing. And ultimately, all this leads to a government policy action, which will change the things. And, like we did in single-use plastics, the government itself came out that, no, we don't want to have a single-use plastics, and it may lead to a total ban or a single-use plastic thing. So it leads to government policy actions. All these steps leading to what we call an environmentally sustainable, a healthy environment policy arising out of reduced demand, a change in demand for a better product, a more eco-sensitive product, a change in the supply patterns, and leading to government policy action. So these are the objectives which we have set up for our mission life. And I'll just give you the targets that we translates to. Can I have the next slide, please? So 1 billion people, about 515,000 villages, about 3,700 municipalities, municipal corporation, and in terms of districts, about 766 districts. These are the targets set up by the Ministry of Environment, Forest, Climate Change, Government of India for the whole country. Now, next slide, please. What are we supposed to do? Now, what is mission life? I just took the example of electricity saving. Ultimately, the mission life is targeted around 7 themes, and each theme there are many action points, and total up to 75 action points which each individual can adopt, that each community can adopt in its lifestyle. The 7 themes are save energy, very understandable because energy is treated as one of the sectors with the highest carbon footprint, especially the thermal energy, coal energy, as well as the fossil fuel using the vehicles and all. So definitely save energy is one of the major focus areas. But as I said in the beginning, the save energy concept, when is part of the mission life, it is not about renewable energy. It is like each household, please put up solar thermal power, solar panels on your rooftop. Rooftop solar panel is a part of an individual action or a community action. But the generation of let's say a wind power or a hydropower or a solar power on a generating station level point is a part of the more of a collective industrial corporate action. Here we talk of how can each individual contribute to the save energy concept. And I will list out, the next slides will list out the action points, but essentially the most important theme is the save energy. Water. Now, water, as you know, is a resource which is our lifeline. And we keep on, and every year there is a lot of issues, disputes related to water. And hence, this save water, which is the lifeline for human existence. Why only human existence? It's lifeline for all animal existence, is the crucial element of this. And don't waste water. That is something very crucial. Use as much of water, recycle water, use it in the best possible manner is the second theme. 3, say no to the single-use plastic. We can't wish away plastics. Plastic is interwoven with our lifestyle, but at least make a beginning. Say no to plastic, and means it comes in the later on that and don't throw plastic. Put plastic into the recycling bin. Put it into the recycle use so that the plastics can be regranuled and made into a fresh product and used again. Adopt sustainable food systems. Till now, we have been having very, very intensive agricultural development. Agriculture is a very big lifeline for a large section of population, and increase in productivity remains our primary goal. But at the same time, excessive use of chemical fertilizers, excessive use of pesticides, excessive use of, I would say, energy guzzling devices. All these things have led to a system where we are not having a full-fledged sustainable food systems. It's a high carbon footprint. So encourage organic farming, do kitchen garden in your house, do manure composting, do as much of substitution and development, adopt sustainable food systems with it. If nothing else, at least eat the foods which are locally grown. As per the seasons they are grown, you will have less of carbon footprint or excess energy usage in your item. Reduce waste. This arises from the circular economy. In my introduction, Hema ji mentioned about our circular economy. I am very happy to share. Now, this is an industry level initiative, but we are running a portal through the AP Environment Management Corporation, where industries hazardous waste include and other waste like fly ash, other things. We have put it on an online portal. Our aim is to make what I call the economic bads into economic goods, so that there is a buyer for the waste item for the industry. And we are promoting a market for the waste. And we see that it is properly monitored, properly used. Similarly for the household, similarly for the community. In a community level, please ensure that you collect the waste, put as much into recycling, put as much into resorting, and divide see that these things are used again. Recycled, circular economy, promotion of the thing. And we today have virtually technology in each and every area to do the recycling. Adopt healthy lifestyle. The more healthy you are, if you do yoga in the morning, yoga is again another initiative. Do yoga for half an hour in the morning. Do brisk walking, do things which are good for your health, do pranayam for breathing. Perhaps to that extent, you don't need medicine. So if you don't need medicines, you will not need production. If you don't need production, you will have less carbon footprint. You know, it all is in a cycle. So if you have a healthy lifestyle, you will need less of every pharmaceutical or medical product, and you have less of thing. So that's again one of the individual community action. And of course, reduce e-waste. Now, this is separated from the waste only for one angle. We are all now hooked to phones, computers. You know, the virtually technology has become a part of our life thing. And we are saying reduce e-waste. Don't throw away your phones, recycle, reuse. Don't throw away, even if you want to give it into the recycling, give it into the e-waste collection center, so that, you know, these things can be reused and recycled. So these are the 7 themes of missions life, which has been promoted for individual actions. I have already talked about it, but I'll just run through the next 2 slides. Can I have the next slide, please? Now, this is the example, like these, like under save energy, there are 19 action points listed. You need not do all the 19 action points. You can do some of them, but it is for individual to study and see what he can do best. So this is where the save energy concept comes, and using of LED bulbs instead of the old tube lights and all comes at the right at the top. I've also highlighted keep temperature of air conditioners to 24 degrees centigrade. You will go to many offices, you will see that it is put at 18 degrees centigrade or 20 degrees centigrade. Put the things at even the best recommended temperature for the human body is 24 degrees centigrade. So keep it at that. Don't keep it at something different. And these leads to action. Similarly, save water. I already talked. The more important thing is here in your kitchen, you are having a water purification system. Keep a water purification system which does not throw out or waste water. At least the water should be reused. Even your household water, at least at a community level. In fact, in our Andhra Pradesh building rules, we have made it compulsory that whenever you have a community which takes a building rules, a cluster of buildings, you must have the wastewater recycling facility at the community level. All the water should be reused, and only finally the sludge is something which should be transported out for the compost units or other. So ultimately the water should be used from the kitchen to the garden to ultimately it is only the sludge which should go out. No water should be wasted is what we are trying to achieve. So this is all a part of individual action. Number 3 is about the single-use plastics. It has 11 items. The same things which I mentioned, don't use single-use plastics. Wherever you need to use plastic, also see that you use it properly, reuse it, and then recycle, put it in the circular economy, see that it is properly used and stay. Sustainable food system. Now, this is generally in the cities and all, people do not relate to it immediately. What do? I go to the grocery shop, I buy the item, I sell it off. What do I do? How do I? Now, whether you are in city or this family thing is that even we are not encouraging that you start doing farming, but it's good to be associated with nature. It's good to develop a kitchen garden if you have a plot. If you have a size of plot which can have a kitchen garden, or on your rooftop, do some gardening. This will help you, one, relate to nature, and also second, that you will be able to consume the seasonal and the local foods which grow in that area. Any food waste which arises out of kitchen, don't throw it away. If you have a composting facility, compost it. So these type of individual steps which can be taken up at a city level. And of course, if it is in a farmer's level, then you can adopt all the agriculture feed practices. Next, please. So this is about the waste. I told about that nothing should go waste. In fact, now we are working on that waste sites should be slowly, if the day should come when we do not need the waste sites. Everything is being utilized. There is nothing called waste. There is always a buyer for even your waste. What you call a waste is somebody's good product. And that has to be the situation, and we should not have waste. Ultimately, this is what it leads to. And if we can do all these things, but to begin with, segregate it. See that the person who is using dry waste can take it. Persons who can take the recycling waste can take it. Donate old clothes. Don't throw it away like that. Donate the old clothes to places where it can be used. And never discard anything in the water body. These are the steps of individual action that has been suggested. Adopt healthy lifestyle. I already discussed in detail. The more and more, even a growing of a kitchen garden or a garden itself is a part of the adopting a healthy lifestyle. And last, as I mentioned about the e-waste, a special mention about it, keeping into mind all the other steps being taken. So this is all about the mission life. We are talked about individual community actions, 7 themes, 75 action points. Pick up whatever you can do and do it well so that you make a contribution. And even your 1 unit contribution is going to be big, because many people are going to make on an aggregate level, on a cumulative level, it becomes very big and definitely leads to change in individual behavior, leads to change in market leads to change in supply, and the drive demand leads to a final government action, which ultimately leads to this. I just like to mention a brief about the implementation. Now, this is the concept, and so how did we go about implementing it in Andhra Pradesh? I just want to share briefly 2-3 slides on that. Can I have the next slide, please? Next, please. So first thing we did is, okay, the Ministry of Government of India set up its target. We also set up our own target. And of course, we didn't, we didn't say 1 billion. We said all the people. So we put it as 54 million straight. That all the, whatever our estimate of population is, we said everybody except maybe we will leave the children below 5 years or 6 years. But they are the real people who will carry it forward. And we said, let us also do it in all the villages. Now, the first part was making awareness. And next slide, please. And we started doing a number of events for the thing. We started promoting Mission Life logo. We held bicycle rallies. We did beach cleaning programs. Andhra Pradesh has 1,000 kilometers of coastline. We started cleaning major ponds and lakes by people participation. You know, like if we keep on saying, come for Mission Life, nobody comes. So we started talking about, you know, things with which people can easily relate and started doing. So we said it's a special drive on single-use plastics, how to, and we started cloth paper vending machine for the thing. Put in some 5 rupees and you get a cloth bag out. So, you know, ATM type of a system where we started doing this. So just to encourage the people, and then we started distributing these leaflets on Mission Life with the list of 7 themes and 75 activities with the clear message, please pick up what you can and start doing that. So, you know, this is a way of increasing the people's participation. Next slide, please. It's a continuation of some more events which we did. So we kept on holding the events one after another continuously. In fact, all our meetings, we started talking about it so that, you know, and I think we have to continue this for a long time because, you know, individual behavior changing takes a lot of time. So that is the things which we did. We did a lot of events. Next slide, please. After the events, we simultaneously, next slide, please. Yeah. We introduced all our departments. So in all our departmental meetings, in all other things, we started talking about this Mission Life and the need for individual and community action. The departments in turn started talking with the field offices, and each and every, the Panchayat department started conducting a lot of events in Panchayat. The municipal department started conducting a lot. So nearly we have till now awareness events 43,238 we conducted. And all these events were, you know, with the pledge. And in Andhra Pradesh today, we have about 1.6 million people who have already taken pledges. It's a very simple pledge. I'll show you. In these meetings, about 1.7 million people have participated, and a lot of these things were successful. And all this data is being captured by Government of India. Next slide, please. And this shows you how many people have taken pledge for the Mission Life in the whole country. Of course, we are leading at about 19% of the total achieved data is in Andhra Pradesh only. And as per the number, we have reached a count of 1,93,000. That is 193,574 people who have taken the pledge. I'll just show you the pledge. It's such a simple pledge, and I really wish the ambassador at the end of the meet would take up for all the participants in this meeting would take this pledge. And can I have the next slide, please? It's a very simple pledge. This is the pledge. And, you know, this is how we have gone about. As I submitted to you, just leave it at the presentation at that. It will be helpful for the ambassador if he considers it fit. Let me just say a few more things. I just wanted to say that, you know, climate change is a very big issue. It's not the government of Andhra Pradesh is working with the National Coastal Management Research Center to prepare a coastal zone map. We have done a hazard line. A hazard line is when the temperature has increased 1 degree centigrade, what is the effect on the coastal area? If it increases to 1.5 degrees centigrade, now 1 degree is something which is already considered that already done. Already the earth is 1 degree warmer than it was in 1850 to 1900. That is the baseline. 1850 to 1900 is taken as the average temperature. And we are already 1 degree on an average above that. 1.5 degree is something, of course, the climate change scientists keep on differing. Some say it will come up within the next 3 years, some say next 5 years, some say next 10 years, whatever it is, we have to be prepared for any, ameliorative measures should it happen. We have also done it for 2 degrees centigrade, which is considered as a pretty destructive development. But still, we don't know what is the future. We are all making efforts. So we are doing on that. So which physical areas are affected? You may not be aware, even our Sri Harikota, from where the moon mission was launched, is on our coast. And we are very, very sensitive to these points of how much temperature increases, what happens to the coastline when the temperature increases. We are having a study done by another department of Earth Sciences Institute on what are the areas which are getting eroded, what are the areas which are getting accredited, what are the river bank areas and how they are affecting due to the climate change. But at the same time, what is about the livelihood issues? What is happening on the livelihood? What about the fishermen? How is their life affected? What about the cattle, the cows, buffaloes, goats, sheep? What happens to them? So we are also in the process of preparing a state climate change action plan. Why I'm telling you this is something we are working on a plan to see that we are prepared for the changes. We have a resilient structure. We have an ameliorative measure and an adaptive systems to take care of all these steps. But then these steps are naturally at the government level, and it has still not been percolated down to the level of the citizen participation. And mission life, which really tells the citizens, see, climate is changing. You are already seeing that you are getting very high rainfall on some days, and then you are having dry spells. The average annual rainfall may be the same, but the weather is changing. Climate is changing and you are experiencing it. For that, it is important that we preserve and we keep the development in a sustainable mode. We tackle the climate change issues and we deal with it. And we have 7 themes for you, and we have 75 action points for you. Please take action on that. And other issues are also there. It is something which comes, government is already working in, the government is already working on renewable energy. Government is already reducing of greenhouse effects gases. Government is already working on reducing the carbon footprint. Government is already working on electric vehicles. All these steps are going on simultaneously, but you at your individual level must make your lifestyle change to the environmental needs, and that is where this pledge comes in. I take this opportunity to thank the ambassador, Shri Akhilesh Mishra ji, for giving me this opportunity. And I also thank Hema Sharma ji for coordinating everything for this arrangement. I am sure the Embassy of India in Ireland will take up this concept of propagation of mission life among the Indian diaspora in Ireland, also among the Irish people through the government of Ireland. And with this hope, I thank you for this opportunity and close my session. Thank you very much, and Jai Hind.
Dhanyawad Neerabh ji. I am really grateful for your excellent presentation. We all have learned so much about this very important mission and initiative by our Prime Minister, Honorable Modi ji. And based on a very inspiring presentation that you made, I have already decided 2 things that we are going to do very soon. One is we will have a separate discussion among embassy colleagues. Like Hema ji, let us plan a serious discussion on this. And each one of us can identify within the embassy, within our families, at our level, what we can do and how we go about implementing, absorbing the message of mission life in our daily life. Second is we will also disseminate this presentation of yours among Indian diaspora here. We are very privileged to have around 80,000 or so strong Indian community. Many of them are from Andhra Pradesh, so they'll be very delighted to see what inspiring work is being done under your enthusiastic leadership. Third is we would be very keen to have, if you have any presentation for the school children, because this habit has to be inculcated as early as possible. So out of like 75 action points, if you have maybe some tailor-made,
we will get it tailor-made because we don't have it right now.
Oh.
But I take your suggestion. We will make a thing which you will, and we will use it for disseminating in our schools also, and you can also use it there.
I think what we will do on next program is, like, if you prepare, if you get a message for very early age, maybe elementary or primary school or even high school students.
Yeah, something like classes, maybe 3 to 7 or 3 to 8.
Absolutely. So that is the level where we need to get the impression on the minds. So if you prepare something, then we can also do a school to school connect, like how school children, the children of a school in Andhra Pradesh are dealing with mission life, and they're absorbing the message of environmentally friendly lifestyle. And we can do kind of virtual connect with some school in our land.
Yeah, sure.
And also we would like to reach out to Irish schools about the presentation that you prepare for children in India, age appropriate.
Yeah, we'll do that.
And lastly, knowing Andhra Pradesh as a very vibrant, forward-looking tech innovation hub, I would be guided by your specific ideas about in field of technology, in field of sustainability, in terms of environmentally friendly ESG solutions.
We will. That's a very another area which I will come back to you on those areas. There's a lot of research going on. There's for example, I'll just share one. Battery recycling. Okay. Now all these e-waste. Lithium is not available in many countries right now.
Yes.
Okay, is in only few countries, but you will be surprised that 80% of the lead batteries, the 80% of the lead requirement is met from the old lead batteries. Only 20% is the lead which is being the primary production. One of the things which we are promoting, you don't have to be a lithium producing country. From the products, the e-waste that has been generated in the country, you can recycle the lithium and become a 80% or something like that producer. To that extent, you are the thing. So I'm just telling, there's a lot of research going on lithium recycling technology. Nice. Okay. It is not an IT technology, this is a chemical technology being done. But on the IT front also, there is a lot of initiatives being taken, and I'll be very happy to share with you all these action points, which are or the research areas or the startup areas where these the young people with bright minds are working on in the space of environmental sustainability.
We'll be really grateful. We look forward to welcoming you with a business delegation to focus on renewable solutions. Sure. Thank you so much. Very kind of you.
Thank you. My only request, lastly, Ambassador Saab, we should all take the pledge, which was there on that day.
Absolutely. This is my pledge, and I'm in fact, unless I take it myself, I won't tell anyone else.
Yes. So
it has to start with me.
Yes. So if you can, we have that slide, please.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So please lead, Ambassador Saab. I think it's a very simple pledge.
I pledge to make all possible changes in my daily life to protect the environment.
I pledge to make all possible changes in my daily life to protect the environment.
I also commit to continuously motivate my family, friends, and others about the importance of environmentally friendly habits.
I also commit to continuously motivate my family, friends, and others about the importance of environmentally friendly habits.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All the very best. Thank you. We are very inspired by your presentation.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Emma ji.